What's poppin', chat? How we all doing today? Happy Thursday. Took a little bit longer to upload, but that's okay. It's a pretty long story. And also just me being a lazy bitch, to be quite frank. Today I got a story for you all called the Ballad of Ella. It is hailed as one of, if not the greatest 4chan green text of all time. And I liked it a lot. You know, it was very, very good. And I hope you all enjoy it. So, yeah, grab a snack, sit back, relax, take a nap, listen along. Also, if you choose to watch the gameplay, do that as well. And I hope you enjoy. Also, a disclaimer. This story can get pretty graphic, can get pretty smutty at times, you know. And I didn't censor it out, so just keep that in mind. It was way too long for me to want to censor it. Dude, I'm fucking lazy as shit. I didn't want to go through all that. But anyway, yeah. Hope you enjoy. This is my story, B. Be me, 19-year-old college freshman. This was 10 years ago. I had this bro from high school, Pete. We were friends, but not exactly bros. He was a cool guy, and I think I was cool to him. Turns out, we applied to the same college and enrolled, going to the same classes, practically spending all of our time together. Away from your family, with your high school life behind you, things can get hectic. Yeah, you're horny teenagers with no real problems to deal with. But you still need a friend that you can depend on. And we were that friend to each other. Fast forward a couple of months. Second semester, we start taking this new class. And there's this girl in the class. Not just us, but every fucking human being with a working dick in the entire campus is losing their shit over her. Ordinary straight girls are ready to become lesbians just for her. I mean, man. Wow. What an angel. A beam of light? Deus ex machina descending from heaven? I have no fucking idea. A value over 10 is a measurement that applies to us, mere mortals. Her beauty cannot be calculated or properly abstracted with numbers, and looking at her is like something you know you shouldn't do. Not because it's creepy or socially awkward or some other shit. It's because you feel you're not worthy. Not for her you're not. No, not her. But we were looking. Turns out we first saw her practically at the same time, and we wanted to point her to one another, but we just couldn't take our eyes off of her. So we sat in some lousy economy class or whatever and drooled over her for half an hour. Before I whispered, "Dude, fuck me." And it took Pete a solid 5 minutes before he could simply say, "Yeah." There she was. This 5'9" lady with long, wavy auburn hair and emerald green eyes to die for, and pretty sure to kill for, sitting just a couple feet away from us. Yeah, so, fuck me was the rest. What? Motherfuck. So yeah, fuck me was the correct response in that situation. After the class, to this day, I can't for the life of me remember what the fuck it was about. We were already orbiting her like some lousy asteroids stuck to a massive black hole, creepily getting closer and closer to her as she sucked us in, bumping into each other and walking like we were drunk and out of our minds. I don't know what it was. Maybe she realized that we were following her like pervs, or maybe it was something else. Halfway to the cafeteria, she just stopped and turned towards us. We comedically bumped into each other and stopped as well. But her beauty was so miraculous that we forgot to look somewhere else. I remember her gaze. It was like the back of our heads blew open and brains splattered all over the hallway. Those green eyes, man. And she smiled. She fucking smiled. If we weren't healthy, fit males in their prime, we would have died of heart attack at that moment. We couldn't breathe. She was so beautiful. So there we are, still staring at her, our eyes and mouths wide open. We were in our very low, way too low, 2-digit IQs at that moment. And there she was, in all of her glory. Like I said, 5'9", long wavy auburn hair, emerald green eyes, long, curvy and athletic legs, slimmer at the knees, well-defined muscles on her calves, and soft but rigid thighs. Her ankles were so elegant, but her tendons were sprained as if she were a wild gazelle ready to bolt out at a moment's notice. Her butt, I can't call it an ass, not hers. Ass is what girls have. This lady had something else. She had buttocks that required a new definition of the word. They were so firm and so well shaped. You could perfectly calculate for pi if you took measurements. Her breasts, I don't even have the words. To this day, I'm still searching for the words. And I will try to describe them later in the story, but I will fail miserably. I can still remember what she was wearing that day. I know what she was wearing probably better than her on the day she wore them. And I know this because Pete knew this. After she looked at us and smiled, just for a few seconds which felt like an eternity, she turned around again and kept on walking. We just stayed put. We couldn't follow her. Our black hole left us lonely asteroids to the pitch black emptiness of cold space. So after the school, we went to her dorm room with no information about her whatsoever. No name, no nothing. Just a mental image of her elegant stance etched deep into our minds. I was looking at the pictures of random women with green eyes and auburn hair on Yahoo. That was the only thing I could do, but none of the images even came close to matching her beauty. Well, Pete felt like he had to do something. And he fucking started searching for her clothes. I shit you not. He was searching for her clothes on Amazon and eBay and all these fashion and shopping sites neither of us knew nothing about. He started with searching for her skirt, which was this black wool cashmere circle skirt with a playful flare at the bottom, couple inches above her knees, revealing her thighs just a little bit. When he found it, he shouted, "I fucking found it, yeah!" And I thought he had found her, but when I saw what he had found, which was this I don't know what brand skirt on Amazon, I was far from being disappointed. I was feeling the same way. We didn't know her name, but fuck it, if we didn't know what skirt she was wearing. Pete kept going with the search and I helped him. At the end of the night, we knew what flats she was wearing, what shirt. We even knew what brand her red bow-shaped hair clip was. I mean, look, we're straight guys. I figure I'm a 7 out of 10, maybe 8. Pete is an easy 8, pushing 9. We are both fit. We don't have ugly pimples on our face or anything. We are both very decent. We are not short or chubby, and although we were not the most popular high school kids, we are definitely not social outcasts either. But that night, we were more gay than a male fashion design student wearing pink dungarees and coming out of the closet singing YMCA. And we knew what skirt she was wearing, So yeah. And before we went to sleep, Pete had an idea. That motherfucker had the most excellent idea. He knew he needed an extra something if he was ever going to talk to her, let alone date her. So he decided he should start learning about fashion and use his knowledge as a conversation starter. Meanwhile, I was feeling like I could go to Mars with a new Apollo mission, or save the world from a new Nazi regime all by myself, and still wouldn't be able to impress her. I was a hopeless friend. The next morning, the first thing Pete did was enroll in a class on fashion design. Pete didn't know if his tactics were going to work. Pete didn't know if this magnificent creature would speak fashion with him, but he had hopes. Meanwhile, we were both unable to speak to her. We were a bunch of beta males scared out of our mind, but we learned her name from a friend. Ella. Ella was her name. Pete didn't want to waste his chances in leaving a perfect first impression with Ella. Well, the first impression both of us have left was us standing in the middle of the hallway, staring at her like we were very strange perverts. But speaking to her was a different matter altogether. I figured, if Pete had no chance of talking to her now, how could I? Besides, Pete was so in the zone, I didn't want to compete. Not that I could, or so I believed. Fast forward a couple of weeks. Pete as a freshman knew more about fashion than seniors knew about economy in our department. He was spending his nights browsing fashion blogs. Every night, he would come to our room with a list of items she was wearing that day, studying her taste in fashion. Pete had told me this could actually work. Since while a lot of the girls on campus dressed like trailer trashes, Ella was always amazing in her choice of clothes. Our room was filled with editions of Vogue and GQ and shit. A couple of friends have seen our stash of fashion magazines and joked about it, so we got a lousy explanation of how they were quality fapping material and got away with it. One day, Pete woke up and turned to me. "I'm ready," he said, like Neo saying, "I know Kung Fu." I said, "Show her." Anyways, Pete decided that whatever she's wearing that day, he felt like he could intelligently talk to her about her clothes. After the economy class, I wished him luck and we parted ways. An hour later, he found me. "How did it go?" I asked. "I don't know, man. I really don't know. I mean, I might as well done great or fucked it up completely." "Why?" He said, "Look, we talked about fashion for an hour." "So you talked for an hour. That's great, man." "Damn, we really are beta males." "Yeah, but what if she thinks I'm gay?" I started laughing. Pete had a point. Straight guys don't usually talk about fashion. Certainly not about women's fashion. Suddenly, Ella comes out of nowhere. I froze. Pete looked at me and understood that Ella was coming our way.
"Hey, Pete."
And I heard Ella's voice for the first time. She had a crackly, deep voice. Kind of reminds me of Scarlett Johansson now. A lot of people don't think that kind of voice is flattering. But if you found me a soprano that sings Agnus Dei, I would have told you, "Shut that woman up and let Ella sing." "Hey Ella," Pete said, his heart probably skipping a couple of beats.
"I remember now. I got it from anthropology."
I have absolutely no idea what she's talking about. "Oh, thanks."
"Don't mention it. It is from last season, though. I don't think you could buy it for your sister, but they might have something similar."
"Oh. Well, thank you for telling me, Ella."
"You're welcome. See you around, Pete."
"See ya, Ella." And we watched Ella walking away from us gracefully until she disappeared in the distance. still looking at her general direction as if we could still see her. Dude, your sister is 7. Yeah, I know. She is, yeah, I know. Magnificent. A week later, Pete had another idea. In order to not look like a gay couple, he suggested that we develop this manly handshake and establish that we are, in fact, bros. Like a bunch of idiots, we stayed up all night, working out this complex yet subtle, or so we thought, secret handshake. Our stupidity was at an immeasurable new height. Pete was chatting up Ella, little by little, every day. But he was afraid of becoming a gay BFF and lose all chance of dating her. So he requested me to approach them tomorrow at some point mid-conversation and apply the handshake. Okay then. After our economy class, I gave Pete some time, then joined them in the cafeteria. As I approached them, Pete saw me coming, excused himself like a true boss gentleman, and we started acting out this ridiculous handshake in unison. I mean, it was absolute bullshit. Hands and fingers everywhere clicking and fist pumping and doing other various stuff. It was like the douchebag version of Cirque du Soleil. Halfway through. Yeah, it was that long it almost needed an interlude. Ella started laughing her ass off. She was laughing like a crazy person. We freeze. The blood drains away from Pete's face. Pale as fuck. We realize that we fucked up. We fucked up immensely. And we force ourselves to turn and face Ella. Pete and I still holding hands like fucktards. She tries to apologize for laughing, but then she starts laughing even louder. We look around and hope that no other person has acknowledged how dumb we look. But fortunately, none other than Ella is laughing. But Ella is still laughing. Pete has this is how I die face. I'm all goodbye world.jpg. Ella's laughter finally dies down, and we're looking at her like rabbits caught in headlights.
Guys, I know you're not gay.
And she starts laughing again. Pete looks like he's about to shit his pants. And I don't know what it was, but maybe I started losing my nerve. Or maybe it was like a chain reaction to Ella's laughter. I start laughing my ass off. That manly handshake started playing out in my head over and over again, and I begin to imagine myself doing the handshake, and I realized how absolutely idiotic it must have looked. Pete starts laughing as well, and all three of us are crying at this point, like WTF. And that was how I met Ella. We finally sit down. I'm still chuckling like an ape. I extend my hand towards Ella. Hi, I'm Anon. She firmly grabs my hand. My God, her hands are beautiful. Long, slender fingers embrace my hairy man paws like the branches of a delicate flower. She has a very cold touch, almost freezing, but at the same time, it's such an awakening feeling. I can feel the hairs on my forearm rising.
Hi, Anon. I'm Ella.
She responds with a warm smile and an incredibly sharp, piercing gaze. Her spellbinding green eyes are filled with both an I got you now attitude and an older sister's love. I melt.
For how long have you guys practiced that handshake?
She asks. We start blushing like 5-year-old kids. All night, Pete answers as silently as possible. Ella claps her hands and pops a loud chuckle.
I knew it!
Waving her fingers towards us.
You guys are insecure.
Pete grumbles.
Aww, it's so cute.
She puts on a funny face, pouting her spectacular pink lips. I'm losing my grasp on English language right about now.
Well, guys, I know you're not gay, but you're definitely homophobic.
Well, we're not. I tried to defend myself futilely.
Oh, it's okay, Anon.
She smiles.
I can understand the feeling.
Pete must be losing his mind. He just sits there, trying to find a way to regain his composure.
Oh, come on, Pete. I know it would make you feel uneasy talking to me about fashion.
Pete looks shocked. But he doesn't understand how he could be sidelined so bad. But he tries to make a case, which I assume he has none.
It's really okay, Pete. I can sense that you've been working on fashion for some time.
Oh fuck.gif. Our jaws are sweeping the floor. How? Pete mumbles.
Seriously, I know all about your fashion class and your room full of fashion magazines.
Ella winks at Pete. I'm about to lose my shit. Pete looks like he's shot by a Cupid's 50 cal machine gun. He's crushing really hard, madly in love. How did you know? I ask, since Pete cannot come to the phone right now.
Well, first of all, I have a friend in Pete's fashion class. And also, some of your chums were talking about your stash, and I overheard them.
Pete silently mouths, fuck me.
But most of all, Pete, I can see that you're new to the fashionista world.
Where did I go wrong? Pete must have been losing hope at that point.
Well, a fashionista, how can I put it, must look more fashionable, don't you think?
Ella was right. Granted, Pete didn't walk around wearing dirty, shitty flip-flops and baggy sweatpants. But he wasn't exactly a fashion icon either. Pete looks like he's about to burst into tears.
Besides, your fashion sense has no context. A person who is deeply involved in any subject always speaks in some form of context.
As Ella talks about Pete's failure, I feel both incredibly sad and incredibly turned on. Maybe I'm not from a family or a place where there are a lot of smart women around, and maybe I was just a dumb homophobic or maybe even sexist fuck who thinks all women learn about everything in life by furiously banging Ken and Barbie dolls into each other in their childhood. But I'll be damned if this magnificent woman isn't smart.
Hey, it's okay, Pete.
Ella sees Pete cringing like a puckered butthole.
I know why you did it. You have nothing to be ashamed of.
Pete lightens up like someone stuck a needle full of adrenaline into his chest. Meanwhile, I'm lost in Ella's eyes, studying her beautiful face as she talks.
So I'm going to give you your chance. Go ahead, ask.
Ask what? Pete shits the bed. Ella tilts her head and gives him a really face. Pete comes around again, gains his composure like a champ for the first time during the conversation. Well, do you want to go grab a cup of coffee with me after school? Ella smiles at him and playfully nods, with her eyes closed.
I would love that, Pete.
And I sat there like a friend thinking of asking, can I come too? Ella is beyond words to me. I feel stupid and powerless near her. Thank you. Pete barely makes any sense. I can't imagine being in his place right now, getting the green light from Ella after believing that he fucked up so badly. Ella laughs playfully and changes the subject. So we sat there and talked about our lives and how we knew each other for an hour, and I was able to get to know Ella, even if it was for a little bit, but it was an amazing experience. Couple of weeks later, Pete and Ella were a couple. I've never seen Pete so happy. He was all over the clouds all the time. The guy was out of his mind, counting seconds for their next date every time he kissed Ella goodbye. And I was happy for my bro, but at the same time, I couldn't help but feel uneasy every time I saw Ella. Ella was still the most amazing woman I have ever seen in my life. Nothing came remotely close to matching her beauty, not to mention her wits. And speaking to her was more fun than I could ever have doing anything. And I was trying extremely hard not to fall for her. I owed it to my bro and to myself. Fortunately, Ella came to my help. She introduced me to her friend Nicole. Nicole was the girl in Pete's fashion class, the girl Ella was talking about. Nicole was an incredibly beautiful girl. She was this amazing redhead, 5'6", big, soft titties, nice curvy body, pale blue eyes, cute little freckles on her face. You would think that a beautiful girl like Ella wouldn't be BFFs with another beauty like Nicole. 9 out of 10 times you'd be right. But Ella had no competition. She was beyond competition. Ella could have been friends with the biggest bimbo there ever was, or she could have been hanging out with a fucking Swedish bikini team. She could have been sleepwalking in her PJs on a Victoria's Secret catwalk at a New Year's show for all I care. No matter the situation, Ella was always the one you looked at first. But yeah, Nicole was a bombshell too, and she was something else entirely. 4 of us started hanging out together, started going to the parties, hanging out after school, going to the movies, and slowly, Nicole and I got very close. She had an amazing sense of humor, knew a lot about subcultures and shit. Finally, after a night out together, Pete and Ella decided to go to Ella's room by themselves. Turns out Ella's roommate was back at home for a family emergency or something like that. And Nicole and I kissed. Soon after, we officially became a couple. After what felt like an eternity, I wasn't interested in Ella that much. It felt good, not feeling like cheating on my bro. Nicole was amazing in bed. In all things related to sex, she was a dream come true. The fantasies she was into were mind-boggling. The things she wore to turn me on: stockings, garter belts, schoolgirl outfits, surprising me with wake-up BJs after a long night of sex. Oh Lord. Some nights I would think, how the fuck am I supposed to regain my sexual appetite after this? A couple hours later, there she was again, wearing something ridiculously sexy, doing things you could lose your mind for. The places we fucked and the positions we tried were pure pornographic shit. It felt like half of my daily diet was being used for producing semen. She wouldn't use condoms. No sir.
Where's the fun in that?
She asked me the first time we were about to have sex. She sucked my dick like a vacuum and swallowed everything, smiling like a sassy high school girl, always wanting more and more. Good thing I was fit and young. You can't do some of the things she asked for when you're 29. I would eat her out until I couldn't feel my tongue. The girl was a queen of multiple orgasms. There was no stopping until she said enough. Her sexual needs were so immense, I had a hard time satisfying her. I was scared shitless if there would come a time when I'm simply not enough. But she was loyal and honest as fuck. Never even flirted with the other guys, let alone cheat on me. I was really skeptical at first. It's a complete opposite of what you would expect. I somehow raised the issue with a delicate yet curious manner. I was treading lightly. Didn't want to offend her.
You're mine, Anon, and I'm yours.
She told me.
Nothing will change that until such a time comes that we both decide otherwise.
She would furiously declare. If there was ever a woman made out of wife material, Nicole was the ultimate prototype. Her understanding of a relationship was beyond belief, and her connection to me was unbreakable. She was so incorruptible. She would straight up hit the guys trying to chat her up in their faces.
You come near me again and I swear to God I will use my entire boyfriend like a retractable baton and fuck you in the ass with him.
That's an actual fucking quote I heard her shout at some poor kid. Holy fucking shit. And there I was, standing like a beta male who has just won the lottery. My diamond hard dick pulsating to her commanding voice. Then she kisses me like there is no tomorrow. Finds an empty room in a house full of partying people. Hangs my sock on the doorknob and fucks my brains out. Yeah, that was Nicole in a nutshell. So I never have imagined that there would be trouble at the paradise. But come summertime, something else happened. My dad asked one of his old friends in LA for an internship position on my behalf. His friend accepted me on to his firm, and while everyone was having a great time, I was supposed to work at the accounting department of this design office in LA. This meant that I wasn't going to spend my summer satisfying Nicole, or do anything fun for that matter. Before she went to the airport, Nicole kissed me as if we weren't going to see each other again, like ever.
Don't forget who you belong to, mister.
She told me with tearful eyes. I won't, Nicole, I promise. Man, the love and care this girl had shown me was something else. Even though I told her numerous times that I loved her, I meant it. I had this feeling that my love for her didn't even come close to what she felt towards me.
Take care of yourself, you hear?
And she left, hesitantly walking backwards to her bus to the airport. Pete had already gone home previous weekend, so I was all by myself, walking around this college ghost town. I'm on my way back to the dorm, wanting to pack my stuff ASAP and get ready for my flight to LA. There she was, walking towards me. Ella.
Hey, sup, Anon?
She greeted me with a warm smile. Hey Ella, I just sent off Nicole.
Aw, you guys. She cried, right?
With a snappy laugh.
I know she cried.
Well, you know her, right?
She loves you, Anon. That's why.
Ella reached out and stroked my arm, showing that she cared. For the first time in quite a while, I suddenly felt a jolt, a rush. It was like the time when I first saw her up close. As her cold hands brushed my skin, my pupils dilated, like the first sip of a morning coffee. A surge of a small dose of adrenaline hit my body. I quickly broke out of her spell. I had to. So, where are you off to, Ella?
Oh, I'm leaving tomorrow morning, off to see my parents in LA.
What? We might be on the same flight. That was the most sexually neutral thing I could think of at that time.
You serious? What are you doing in LA?
Ella asked with a delighted curiosity, her big green eyes glimmering with excitement. I had this job my dad arranged for me. I'm not exactly going there for a vacation, I pout.
Aw, don't worry, Anon. I'll keep you company. It'll be fine, I promise.
Cheerfully reassuring me, my heart skipped a beat. Before I could say anything,
Oh, look at the time. I gotta go now, but hey, see you in LA, if not earlier.
she winked at me. She waved and started walking in the other direction. After mumbling some non-intelligible verbal expressions like, hey, yeah, what, oh, I waved at her and watched her disappear around the corner. And as I was trying to make sense of what just happened, Nicole's teary-eyed face kept coming into my mind. I felt like a complete asshole. What the fuck am I so excited about? I mean, Ella is my bro's girlfriend. She's BFFs with my girlfriend. What the fuck am I thinking? Why am I suddenly feeling awkward again? I tried not to think about it and started walking away. Next morning was even
Sorry,
harder for me.
Anon. I guess I get
We were on
very
the same
untidy in
bus
my
to the
sleep.
airport, and when it was time to check into our flight, we were side by side. Naturally, you can't ask to be seated elsewhere when the person you're trying to avoid is right next to you. I couldn't believe that I was actually thinking about being seated elsewhere too. Ella was not only a friend, She was also the one person I had to think of almost as a sister. I kept texting Nicole to make sure that I was okay, reminding myself of who I belonged to. I was scared because it wasn't helping at all. Acting like everything was alright, I boarded the plane with Ella. After chatting for a little bit with Ella, she fell asleep. After some time, I did too. When I woke up, her head was on my shoulder, and my head was on hers. Her fragrant hair was all over my face. She smelled of vanilla and berries. Her gorgeous scent was so enhancing. I started getting the strangest boner of my life. I was unsure about what to do. Do I slowly back off? Do I keep leaning against her head and savor the moment? What the fuck am I thinking? Why is this an issue? Now, I know there must be a lot of you out there calling me a beta male, but if bros before hoes does not apply here, then where else? The only thing I was able to do to raise my head out of her hair and sit upright as best as I could. I couldn't bring myself to pull away from her. Then, as if things couldn't get any worse, she mumbled in her sleep and put her hand on my chest, embracing me as if she was sleeping next to Pete. Her beautiful hands was lightly hanging onto my shirt, her cold fingertips gently grazing my bare chest. This is torture. Pete's voice is ringing in my ears. I love her, man. I fucking love her. The first time he told me at a party, watching Ella from the other side of the room. With an admiration and love I haven't seen before on any man's face. Then I remember Nicole again, and the discernment and the loyalty she has displayed time and again in the face of temptation. I felt like shit. Concentrated, clogging brick of shit. An excruciating hour later, she woke up. She blinked her eyes rapidly as she tried to sober up, then yawned and stretched. I was losing my mind to the sight of her delicate body as every muscle on her body vibrated and contracted. I was trying to force myself to look away, not notice her, but I couldn't. She looked at me with her sleepy green eyes.
Oh, sorry, Anon. I guess I get very untidy in my sleep.
She chuckled. No worries. I tried to match her chuckle nervously. After that, we landed. Her parents came to welcome her. She introduced me to them. They were nice people, really warm and welcoming. Her mom, after learning that I was going to be alone in LA, invited me to their place. I kindly declined their invitation, telling that my father was already renting me an apartment.
Well, next week you must at least come have dinner with us then.
Ella ordered. Okay, deal. I accepted her offer with a million questions and ideas racing in my mind. Shortly after we parted ways, I called Nicole and talked to her for an hour, trying to remind myself of who I am, and texted Pete telling him about how Ella and I were on the same flight to LA. I hated myself for feeling that way, that an explanation was necessary. Hey Pete, don't worry buddy, my dick wasn't fully erect the whole time she was sleeping on my shoulder, sort of thing. It got hard only when she started stretching her muscles. It's aight. Fuck. I settled at home, met people at work. It's boring, but it's okay. I'm in LA, lots of things to do. Lots of free time when I'm not working 9 to 5. And it's only part-time, so I work only 3 days a week. A week later, Ella picks me up from work, and we go to her house like I promised. Everything went better than expected. JPEG. Her parents are really cool. Lots of drinking, talking, joking around. She has a younger brother, Jake. He is 11. He is a nerd, but he is handsome in the same way Ella is beautiful. Fucking little man is on his way to becoming a motherfucking 10 out of 10 alpha. I start talking to him. We hit it off really well. I start playing video with him in his room. Ella joins in. I'm like, what? Turns out Ella is a hardcore gamer. Then the feeling returns once more. Ella is sitting between me and Jake, and I'm trying to hide my boner under an N64 controller, feeling like I'm cheating on Nicole once again. I start drooling as she kicks our asses in Mario Kart.
Oh well.
Ella rubs Jake's head, and she turns to me and winks.
I don't know what you guys were expecting.
I forget how to speak English as I see her smug face next to mine, her piercing green eyes, her sharp, pointy nose a couple inches away from me, her cheeks red like apples after the rush and excitement of the game, tiny drops of sweat rolling down on her delicate neck. My mouth is wide open. She starts laughing when she sees my dumb as fuck face. I only play adventure games anyway, Monkey Island and such. I try to bail out.
Oh, is that right, Mr. Threepwood?
Ella teases me. OMFG. I'm about to drop dead. Her mom calls us for dessert and coffee. I stay another hour, then her dad drives me back to my place. Next week, she called me and asked if I wanted to hang out. I was afraid of how fast I responded, yes. She showed me the sights. We went to her favorite places, eating ice cream, hanging out in cafes and shit. About a month and a half into my stay in LA, I met a couple of her old friends. I could easily see that some of her high school boys were still in love with her, losing their minds over how lucky they are to see her once again. Some of them even eyeballed me before Ella told them that I was just a friend.
Just a friend.
And for no reason at all, I felt as if my heart imploded. What's wrong? What's wrong with what she said? Yeah, of course I was just a friend. It wasn't like I was friend zoned or anything. She had a boyfriend and I had a girlfriend, so I was just a friend. But I was heartbroken nonetheless. We decided to go to the beach next week. So next week, 5 of Ella's friends and I were at the beach. 9 out of 10 to 10 out of 10 girls with slutty thongs all around us. Everyone is like, who gives a shit? I was the only horny fuck checking out every piece of ass around us. Ella was wearing these loose summer pants and an old XL white shirt. We find a nice spot, then get settled. Then Ella starts taking off her pants and shirt. I start forcing myself to look elsewhere. It's so painful. I shit you not, every fucking person within a 50-foot radius starts looking. 10 out of 10 girls with tight asses and big tits start cringing. I can see how jealous they feel. Men are hung. And when I say fuck it, I will have to see her body eventually. No escape. And I look at her. Just a pair of jet black bikinis. In them, the most unquestionably beautiful woman there ever was. Her wavy auburn hair streams to her broad but willowy shoulders. Sharp sunlight is glimmering on her bright green eyes. Her face is already tanned. Reddish spots are formed over her soft cheeks, her pink petite lips, and her sharp, small diamond chin, both moisturized by tiny drops of sweat. The elongated and tender tendons on her neckline flows to the most beautiful and deep jugular notch, surrounded by her sharp clavicles. Then I see them. I don't think I've ever seen such breasts before. Not with my own eyes, not in pictures, not in real life. Slightly bigger than plump grapefruits, and smooth and solid as if they were carved out of marble. They stand at attention, amused by the incompetence of frail gravity. Her small nipples, mildly protruding out of her bikini tops, like searchlights pointing way up into the sky. My eyes hover over that side for a few seconds. and I admire her chest like they have seen the most beautiful work of art ever created. Then I look down, see her belly. She has a set of slightly defined muscles surrounding her tummy. Her waist is lean and forms a very elegant, gentle hourglass shape, as if they connect to her curvy yet tight hips. Another piece of black cotton covers the magnificent V shape. The sight of a barely concealed bulge on the cloth stops my heart for a second. It is an unbelievable awareness knowing what's behind that cloth. There is a small opening beneath her crotch, and I can see the sandy beach in the background from between her legs, as the lengthy muscles on her thighs expand and contract, and shiver and vibrate to the warm breeze of Cali. Her small knees play around, and her lower legs keep to the pace, as the tanned muscles around her tibias enjoy the sunlight. Her feet dig deep, shallow spots in the sand. Tip of her toes curl and point. Her heels extend out of the sand and dance in the air. Ella. Words are empty. My eyes were fixed on Ella. Ella looks on me. She leans in with a funny smile on her face. Her youthful breasts come closer to my face than ever before.
You're staring, Anon.
She says while calmly giggling. My face turns into a Mexican tomato plantation. She walks by me towards the ocean, looks back with a smile warmer than midday sun,
You coming?
and runs into the lukewarm water while bouncing her perfect fanny. In a minute, yeah. I wasn't about to display the biggest tent of my life in front of everyone. She voices a snappy laugh and starts backstroking away from the beach. I sit there and start reciting the multiplication table as if I was with Nicole in bed, trying to delay the inevitable. Moments later, I join her. Sorry about before, I apologize sheepishly.
Don't worry about it. You should have seen Pete's face when he first saw me in my underwear.
My face went Ella in sexy underwear.jpg. And we're back to where we started. Good thing my tent is now underwater. I try to speak, but all I'm doing is keeping my mouth open without saying anything. Ella is laughing hysterically.
Are you serious, Anon?
Serious how?
Are you seriously thinking of me in my underwear right now?
It comes and goes. What the fuck am I saying? Ella laughs and splashes water to my face.
Come on, underwear boy, swim!
She starts swimming. I have nothing else to do but follow her. A few moments later, she stops swimming and turns to me.
Hey, did you call Nicole? You guys talking, yeah?
Buzzkill! Yeah, why?
Good. You keep doing that, and then you can imagine me in my underwear all you want.
She chuckles like a prankster and starts swimming back. My mouth was like a keyboard with coffee spilled all over it. I followed her back to the beach. I spent the rest of the day thinking about Nicole, thinking about Pete, and thinking about Ella. I didn't really have to think about Ella since she was suntanning her gorgeous body next to me. Before everyone went home, Ella asked me if I wanted to hang out with her next weekend. I accepted, naturally. After I went home, I called my dad, or my dad called me. Told me to get ready for a trip. What? Yeah, apparently I was supposed to go to Hong Kong. Turns out my dad is more connected than I previously believed. I had just a week left to spend in LA. Then it was time for Hong Kong. After I spoke to my dad, Pete called. His voice was all fucked up. Told me that Ella broke up with her a week ago. I switched into bro mode and started calling Ella a bitch and whatnot. Dude, stop, he said calmly. What? She was right. This wasn't going anywhere. Ow, what? Looking on. I have nothing that I can offer to her. Pete started explaining. He told me how Ella was smarter than him and how it wasn't about sex or being an alpha and all that shit. Basically, like everything else about her. Ella was not exactly your usual sorority girl. She was in her own Alpha Omega fuck you club, and Pete had nothing more than 4 months worth of fashion class and a few dirty jokes to show for an admission. Anyway, thought you should know, man. Take care. And he hung up. I was terrified when I realized my first thought was, now, what do I do with Nicole? Am I next? What the fuck am I supposed to do in Hong Kong? Next week, I decided to ask Ella about what happened before we went to the museum. We meet, kiss and hug.
Sup, Anon?
She's cheerful as usual. What's up, Ella? So, Pete called me. Her head becomes apologetically heavy.
Sorry for not telling you, Anon. I didn't want you to think less of me before speaking to Pete first.
Why? Ella looks at me, feeling stuck between her friendship with me and my friendship with Pete.
Wasn't working, Anon. Things don't always work out. What did Pete say about me?
Only good things.
What did you tell him?
Me? I was just trying to be a bro, I guess. Ella pouts.
Sorry for putting you in that situation.
This is the first time I've seen Ella unable to drive the conversation. She looks way too submissive. I feel bad. Hey, look. It's okay. It's not my place to say anything. I try to comfort her. Ella looks at me, almost waiting for my approval. Then I say, let's move on, shall we? Besides, we have a date. What? Ella blushes. I realize what I've just said and how it might be so easily misunderstood.
Okay.
She doesn't push it and saves me from my own demise. We get inside the Natural History Museum and start wandering around aimlessly without talking. Couldn't tell her that I was leaving for Hong Kong 2 days from now. Both our minds are elsewhere. We get to the prehistoric section, seeing the dinosaur skeletons, and no, they don't walk. Then we get to the early humans or some other stuff, I don't know. I don't remember why, but we stopped in front of this Neanderthal skull on display. We just look at it. Kinda reminds me of something. You know, this looks somewhat familiar, I say without looking at Ella. Ella doesn't say anything at first, but then she loudly cracks an evil laughter in the middle of the fucking hall. She looks at me with the funny evil face, with a cracked, badly impersonated manly voice.
I am a powerful demonic force. I am the harbinger of your doom. Let me hear you scream in terror.
I'm melting right now. I remember. She gives me a warm smile and starts laughing. I remember why that skull looks so familiar. She's fucking doing Murray from fucking Monkey Island 3. My life is complete.jpg. Everyone is looking at us like, what the fuck is wrong with these people? I get so excited, my hands start shaking.
Oh, I think I did it a bit too loud.
She whispers as she keeps chuckling. You played Monkey Island 3? I ask her, stammering.
Oh, I love it, Anon.
She grins.
I figured you would remember Murray, you being an adventure gamer and all.
I have nothing to say. At that moment, Ella stopped being a crush I could hardly admit to, and turned into my life's goal I have no idea what to do with. We started talking about Monkey Island, then Full Throttle, Indiana Jones and the Fate of Atlantis, all LucasArts games, old school adventures. We were cracking jokes, impersonating key characters, acting out funny moments. It got to the point of singing theme songs. That's when we realized we were sitting next to a prehistoric animal in the middle of the museum, talking about weird games and such like nerds. Security is giving us funny looks. We laughed about it and decided to leave. It was getting late. Sun was about to set.
Hey, Anon, come home with me. Have dinner with us again.
Ella grabbed my arm and asked me cheerfully, "I'd love that." And we went to her house once more. Her parents gladly welcomed me to her home. Jake was in a summer camp or some such. During dinner, all we could talk about was games and anime, comics, the whole nerd 9 yards. Her mom and dad were giving each other smirky looks. I didn't care. I was losing my mind. Ella, the perfect girl. Ella invited me to her room, and that was the first time I've seen Ella's room. Anime posters on the wall, cute bed sheets with girly flowers and stuff, a whole fucking big bookcase full of vidya, her neatly folded clothes everywhere, a full repertoire of fashion Pete studied to understand for a whole semester, a cute and girly elegance, and a hardcore and tomboyish geekdom. The best of both worlds, if there were ever such a thing. I'm at a loss for words, I declare with my mouth wide open. Ella chuckles and playfully punches my shoulder.
Shut up. What were you expecting? Wall-to-wall posters of some boy band?
No, I love it. I look around with a huge grin on my face.
Good. Now I'm going to beat your ass in Mario Kart again. Sit down.
As she forcibly seats me on the floor and in front of a small TV. Huge amounts of cute hearts gush out of all my bodily orifices. Ella goes over to Jake's room and brings the N64. And we start playing. This is heaven. She kicks my ass in Mario Kart again. We switch to SF. She kicks my ass yet again. Next we try split screen 007. And guess what? She kicks my ass again. She fires up the PlayStation and starts showing me MGS. I never played MGS until then. Yeah, okay. Don't judge me. She starts telling me about the story, going crazy excited, shows me the controls and starts watching as I fumble around. Laughs at my stupidity and ineptness every now and then. I play and play, lose myself, immerse myself in the excellence of MGS. Then I pause the game. Then realize she has fallen asleep with her head on my shoulder, her sweet vanilla and berry scent filling my lungs once more. She looks peaceful and happy. I quit the game and put down the controller. I gently embrace her exquisite body, putting my arms behind her back and under her beautiful legs. The thin veneer of her skirt rolls back, revealing her thighs. I carefully carry her into bed, tuck her in, just look at her and appreciate her unbelievable beauty for a moment. It's 3 a.m. Her parents must already be asleep. I don't have any way of returning home. I turn off the TV and the lights, grab a pack of neatly folded t-shirts and use them as a makeshift pillow, and curl up on the floor. It's hard to fall asleep. The floor is too uncomfy. I hear her shuffling behind me. I figured she must be turning around in her sleep. Then I feel her hand on my back, then over my shoulder, and she rests it on my chest, pulling a thin sheet of blanket over us both. Her small feet play around and curl up next to mine as she spoons me. I grab her cold hand and press it firmly against my chest. She mumbles and plants her face to the back of my neck. And I fall asleep, madly in love. Next morning, when I woke up, she was still sleeping. During the night, we ended up facing each other. When I opened my eyes, I found myself looking at her angelic face. Her hair was all over me. Her hand was still holding onto my shirt, like the time it was back on the plane. I could feel her breath on my lips. I wanted to stay there. More than anything, I wanted to lay next to her forever, and I wanted to kiss her so much, but all I could think of was Nicole's face. I carefully reached for my phone in my pocket. Nicole left me a text.
Hey, you. I wanted to surprise you before you go to Hong Kong. I'm in LA. Call me when you wake up. Love you.
Oh shit.gif. I go pale. My mouth dries up. My heart starts beating to a fight or flight moment. I gently put Ella's hand down and get back off without waking her up. I grab my things and exit the house without anyone noticing. I call Nicole. She tells me to meet her on Venice Beach. Grab a bite to eat on the way. Coffee to wake up. The moment I see her, I realize the mistake I've made. My hair is all messed up. I'm still wearing yesterday's clothes. I didn't even brush my teeth. And my entire body smells like Ella's perfume. Never go full friend.avi. It's too late. She sees me and starts running towards me and jumps into my arms. She digs her lips into my mouth, holds me tightly, starts kissing me furiously. Then she slows down, and then completely stops. Her hands and arms lose their grasp on me, slowly pulls away. She gently pushes me back to take a better look at me. She sees the guilt and fear on my face. Her pupils dilate. She starts turning red. Her eyes fill with fury and anger like nothing I've ever seen before. Her right hand pulls back and flies into my face. It lands perfectly. My ears start ringing. My vision is blurred. She doesn't talk. I don't have anything to say for myself. I just stay there with half of my face completely numb, unable to face her, unable to look her in the eyes. She slowly turns around and starts walking, looks back.
You coming?
She looks at me with tear-filled mad eyes. I obey and start following her. We sit on a bench overlooking Venice Beach. We sit there for a few minutes before she finally says,
Did you sleep with her?
She doesn't look at me. No.
Did you kiss her?
No. She stops for a moment. I realize what's coming, and it's too late. She turns to me with a face full of tears of anger.
You're in love with her?
I can't say anything. I just sit there as my head goes as low as it can go.
For how fucking long, Anon?
Her voice trembles. I don't know. She hesitates for a moment, then starts talking again.
I should have known. For the past month, you were all Ella could talk about, Anon.
I couldn't believe what I was hearing. I wake up to the shock of this revelation. She talked to you about me? I ask her with a skeptical and messed up face.
Yeah.
She opens her eyes wide, sarcastically.
Can you believe that? You became her number one friend, her confidant, her BFF.
She finally finger quotes her snappish remark. I don't have anything to say to Nicole.
And I can't be angry at her for getting close to you, Anon.
She stopped.
But you...
She gets close to my face and puts her index finger sharply to my chest,
You should have known better.
tapping my chest with her finger.
Answer me, Anon.
She whispers.
Answer me!
What? I turned to her. She jumped back with a surprise. This was the first time she has ever seen me scream at anyone, let alone her. What do you want me to say, Nicole? That I love her? That I care for her? That no matter how I feel about you, I can't control how I also feel about her? That even when you and I were just friends, and Ella was with Pete, I couldn't help but feel a strong desire for her? Nicole didn't talk. She just stood there and watched me talk with a heartbroken face. What do you want me to say, Nicole? What do you want me to say? That was the first thing I felt, was relief when Pete told me that she broke up with him.
Okay.
She whispered and stared into the distance. We continued to talk, getting angry at each other at times. but it was more upsetting than vexing. After an hour of furious argument, we were tired. Even when pissed off, Nicole didn't hold back her love for me. She got close to me and put her head on my shoulder, and we started watching the sunset.
You know what, Anon?
She spoke kindly, like a whisper.
There isn't enough sex tricks in the world to keep you away from Ella.
I froze. I felt like a sharp object has pierced through my chest.
And there isn't enough small jokes, bouquet of flowers, or boxes of chocolate that Pete can come to her door with.
She sighed.
So he can hold on to Ella.
I couldn't speak, couldn't breathe.
And it's alright, Anon. No matter what we do, you guys are made for each other.
She spoke as she gave in to reality.
So go on ahead. I told you that you were mine until we both decided otherwise, and we both decided otherwise, you know what?
I sat there with Nicole's head on my shoulder, staring blankly into the crowd of people on Venice Beach, knowing that there's no amount of rights I can make to fix the wrong I did to her. The person who loved me so blindly, so vigorously, that even in the moment of her defeat, she still wanted what was best for me.
Just do one last thing for me,
She whispered. I turned my face to her and kissed her with a passion like I never have. She held my face in her small hands and broke our bond,
Go.
trying to hold back her tears.
Go before I change my mind. Go!
She started to cry. Holding her hand, I got up. I hesitantly started stepping away. Our arms stretched and reached their length as our fingertips grazed each other and broke away. I started walking backwards, looking at her, realizing what I have done, feeling like shit. Nicole wasn't looking at me. Her head dropped. The palms of her hands were trying to hide the tears. She was quietly sobbing. I gasped for air and forced myself away from her, trying not to think about it, running away like an asshole. I must have walked for 3 hours, not knowing what to do. It was getting late. I finally made my decision. I hailed a cab and gave the driver Ella's home address. I arrive at Ella's house. I approach her door, not knowing what to expect. I ring the bell. The door opens. My heart stops when I see her. She lowers the cell phone from her ear and looks at me.
That was Nicole.
She shakes the phone in her hand. Her beautiful green eyes are bloodshot, tears running down her face. She closes the door. Ella, I breathlessly shriek. I turn my back to her door. I start walking, then I collapse. I start crying like a bitch. This is just way too much. First Nicole, and now Ella. The door quietly clicks open again. The afternoon sun casts a shadow over me. The shadow eagerly waits. What did she say to you? I can barely speak.
That you loved me more than her, you stupid fuck.
A cold hand grabs my collar and pulls me with force. I stumble and walk to Ella's door, following her stern pace. Tears and snot on my face, ugly as fuck. And as I pass through the doorway, she turns around and violently slams the door with a flick of her hand and pins me to the shut door with force and stuffs my face with her lips. My heart is beating like a jackhammer. She just stays frozen, her lips nailed to mine, her chilled hands hanging from my collar. Her intense kiss gently becomes tender, and she stops kissing me, clumsily wipes my wet face with her hands, sporadically chuckling her heart out while crying tears of joy.
You look like shit.
I smile and laugh.
Come on, you need a shower.
She drags me to her bathroom and gives me fresh towels. I take a shower for about an hour, trying to calm my nerves, trying to make sense to this calamity. I take way longer than usual, knowing that when I get out, I will have to face her and have a talk. I finally get out and wrap myself with her towels. Go to her room. Ella is in her PJs. Her hair is wet. She must have had a shower too. She's sitting on her bed, all curled up, holding onto her legs. She has a deeply concerned look on her face. I sit next to her and stare at the wall, expecting a million questions. She simply says,
Go ahead. Say it.
I don't understand. I mean, say what?
Say it.
She tells me again with a calm voice. I love you.
Good.
She puts her hand on my face and her lips on mine and gives me the warmest, most gentle kiss I could have imagined. We fall back to the bed and she embraces me. While her freezing hands caress my skin like ice, her hot, soft lips brush against my face like a velvet cloth. I hold her tightly. She opens her arms and lays back, presents herself to me with an innocent smile on her face. I take my time and study her. I don't want to rush anything.
My parents are gone for the day, and we're all alone.
She sings playfully. I have all the time in the world. I rub her tummy and kiss the notch under her neck. She sighs. Ella holds on to me tightly and locks me into herself with her legs. We stay like that for a long time, kissing and touching each other, enjoying the warmth of our bodies. She pulls her knees up, almost reaching my head. Using her toes, she carefully grips the edge of the towel on my waist, starts to slide it down surgically. Ella looks down, then looks up, and flashes me a suggestive smirk. Her legs are gingerly dancing on my upper body, and I can feel the muscles on her legs expanding and contracting as they move around. I slide my hand from her back to her bottom, and I feel the magnificent curvature of her strained hips, and catch the waist of her PJ bottoms with my fingers. I slowly pull them down along with her panties. I feel a gush of warmth on my hand. I touch her silky smooth bare bottoms. She bites her lip and dives into my lips again. She's kissing me strenuously this time. Hot air licks my face as she exhales from her small pointy nose. Then I close my eyes and press my entire body against hers. We slowly curled up into each other, getting closer and closer. You would think that there is a physical limit to how close you can get to someone. That limit is not really as apart as it may seem. There is a point where you fail to distinguish skin from skin. We hugged each other so tightly, grabbed onto each other like dear life, as if we somehow let go. We would fall to our deaths. We became one. I don't remember at which point we were actually having sex. With that amount of love and such a strong intimacy, you really don't understand what's going on. You don't pay attention to how you're satisfying yourself and your partner. It's not about tips and tricks anymore. It's not about knowing what limb to touch, or where to kiss, lick, or do whatever. That level of unity transcends virtually every health magazine bullshit you can read about sex and intimacy. Time loses meaning. That night, I don't remember how many hours. We were inseparable. We didn't say a word the entire time. No screaming, no loud noises, just heavy breathing, lots of heavy breathing. The only thing that I cared. Her hands weren't cold anymore. Her touch was warm to me for the first time, and the only memory I cherished more than anything else. was the feeling that as if we were known each other for all of our lives. That night, Ella wasn't a couple months old friend who I cheated on my girlfriend or betrayed my best buddy for. She was the one person dearest to me above everyone else. She was my missing piece. After a long, long time has passed, I remember finally whispering, "I love you," and falling into the deepest, most relaxed sleep I have ever had. It was almost dawn when I woke up. Ella woke up with me. "I have to tell you something," I told her. She looked at me, scared and upset. "I have to go to Hong Kong for 2 months. Today. I won't be able to spend the rest of the summer with you." Whatever she was expecting, hearing this news relieved her. She sighed and planted a passionate kiss on my cheek.
It's okay. We'll see each other in school.
She whispered to me softly.
After all, I have you now.
I couldn't have been happier. Hong Kong seemed like a punishment after everything that has happened, but I knew Ella would wait for me. Ella sent me away, convinced me that if we spent even more time, or if she could come to LAX to see me off, the distance and time would be even harder to bear. I agreed. As I was dragging my feet to leave her, I kissed her so much she had to physically push me away, giggling with a sleepy face.
Go now, or you'll miss your flight.
I went home, hastily packed my bags, and left for the airport. All I could think of was her. The cab driver had to ask me, "Where to?" like 3 times. After I landed and got settled in Hong Kong, we talked on Skype. It was new back then, and the connection was shitty, but it was better than nothing. Every day we would talk, sometimes for hours, but there was so much time difference. I was almost an entire day ahead of LA. But we made it work. Our intimacy was not limited to sex, and our friendship was more than just ambiguous flirting. The things we shared, the moments we lived, even though they were digital and thousands of miles apart, I was still in heaven. A month later, I came home from work one day, and there was no response to my calls. I figured she must be busy or out, or something else came up. Didn't think much, and went on with the rest of my day. Next day, same thing. Well, unless you're a seriously paranoid person, you don't think of worst case scenarios. Until your buddy calls you. Didn't remember how I responded to that. Still don't. I only know what Pete, Mom, and Dad told me. Turns out, I dropped the phone and was unreachable for an hour. Don't know what happened in that hour. Then they say I called my folks. By then, Pete told them already, and they knew I wasn't going to be able to make my way back on my own. As I was speaking, or screaming to, Mom, Dad was already buying plane tickets. I didn't realize my mom was crying on the phone, knowing her son was in so much pain, and she was unable to help. I was screaming so much, my voice was all but gone. At some point, my dad picked up the phone, trying to calm me down. Years later, I asked him once, just once, what happened that day. Never seen a man that white as he told me what happened, how terrified he was over how I was feeling. I asked him because the only thing I could remember was Pete telling me, "She's gone. She's gone." I talked to Pete one more time before Dad arrived. That I do remember. You go numb after so much pain and start behaving like a robot. He knew I wasn't going to be at the ceremony with him. We talked about things no one wants to know, but you just have to know. Like what happens to a car traveling at 60 miles per hour when it gets rear-ended by another car, starts spinning, and stops when it wraps around a telephone pole. There was nothing anyone would want to look at. No open casket, just a box. While her family was burying Ella, I was on the plane back to the States. I didn't have the power to go back to LA and be there with her family. Didn't want to go back to college and be all by myself. I just wanted to go home. A year has passed since Ella's death. Mom and Dad were trying to play it cool. Pete was the only one keeping me sane. He too was affected by Ella's passing, but he was stronger. He didn't love Ella the way I did. Nicole was keeping her distance, avoiding me as best she could. On the anniversary of her death, I decided to visit Ella's grave. Got on a plane to LA. I still remember the first time I walked through those cemetery gates. It's never easy to visit the dead. I found her and stayed there for an hour, just crying, not knowing what to say. I'm not a religious person, and I don't believe in the afterlife. I had this feeling inside me that no matter what I said, she wasn't there to see or hear. After a while, a boy walked up to me, her brother. Young Jake, too, came to visit her sister. We hugged. You should come visit me and my folks, Anon. They will be happy to see you. I accepted his kind invitation. When we arrived at their home, the air was thick, filled with sorrow. Her mother smiled when she saw me, held me in her arms as if I was her own blood. "Oh, am I happy to see you," she cried. They were relieved when they didn't have to be alone that day. Ella's father was already half drunk, but he was joyful when we started talking about Ella. Jake was sitting between his mom and dad. They wouldn't let go of his hands the entire time, drawing power from knowing that they are not alone, and that Jake is still here. After talking about Ella, reminiscing what little time I was able to spend with her, her mom showed me into Ella's room. The room was left untouched. Nothing has changed since I've been there more than a year ago. Even her neatly folded clothes were still on her chair, her video archive, her anime posters on the walls. Her mom opened a drawer and took out a CD case and a letter and handed them to me. "I believe these are for you, Anon." She put them into my violently shaking hands. She kissed me on my forehead and left the room. I sat on the bed in which we had the chance to spend a single night together. A single night. I looked at the CD case and immediately burst into the tears I was holding back before. Crying my eyes out, I started reading her letter, the letter she couldn't send to Hong Kong. And after I read the letter, I was crying in a fetus position. On her bed. The love and the loss were too much. Someone slowly sat next to me, and I felt a familiar hand on my face. I put my head on her lap, while Nicole caressed my hair and calmed me down.
"I'm here,"
she whispered, and hugged me as she too quietly cried. Next semester, Nicole and I got closer. She stopped avoiding me, and we became friends again. She understood what I have been through, and although I've broken her heart, she knew I didn't mean to. She knew how much I loved Ella. She knew the love I felt for Ella didn't mean I didn't value her. 2 years later, we started dating again. Moved to Chicago together. Another 2 years after that, we got married. And I slowly forgot about Ella. While organizing the old stuff at our house, I came across Ella's letter in the Monkey Island 3 CD case.
I hope you're doing well in Hong Kong. I miss you, and I'm carefully assuming you miss me too. But surprise! I got something for you. Unfortunately, this is the only copy I could find. It's a pirated version that I got from a Bulgarian guy on eBay. It works just fine. If you get bored and your longing becomes unbearable, imagine yourself in the Caribbeans, and I'll help you save Elaine from the curse. Your love from LA, your hooray, Ella.
When I started feeling bad, she convinced me to write the story down so I could get it off my chest,
I don't want to read it.
she says with a sad face.
It will be too much for me, but you have to write it down.
Her love and care were heavenly.
You need this, Anon.
I accepted. Last night, after I finished writing my story, Nicole convinced me to frame Ella's letter. I looked at her. I was almost about to cry. She gently held my face in her hands,
It's good to remember, Anon.
and she planted a tender kiss on my lips.
She was a good person. You loved her, and she loved you.
I don't even know what to say. I framed the letter and put it on my nightstand. We got under the blankets on a cold winter night. We cuddled. She embraced me and placed her head on my chest and softly whispered into my ear.
You're mine, Anon, and I'm yours. And as I've said before,
She was almost asleep, with an amorous smile on her face.
until such a time comes we both decide otherwise, nothing will change that.
And I fell asleep next to the woman I loved, embracing the woman that loves me. And this is the end of my story. Thank you for watching the video. That's all we have for you today. Shout out to my friend Miaya, I think that's their Discord. The GOAT, absolute GOAT, for helping me out with this. And yeah, hope you enjoyed this emotional roller coaster of a story. I enjoyed it. I did tear up a little bit when I was reading it out towards the end, but it was really good. I enjoyed it. Hope you did. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And if you have any suggestions for a new video, leave it down there in the comments. And yeah, have a blessed day.